And it is especially an auspicious day for us. Sri Nityananda Trayodashi. Srila Gurudev has spoken so much about the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. And the glories of Nityananda Prabhu are given in such kirtans as Nitai Pada Kamala. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala. What is the meaning of Koti Chandra Sushitala? It means that the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu are more cooling than 10 million moons. The moon's rays are very, very cooling. They are very soothing. Why do we need such soothing? Because we are burning in the fire of material existence. Tapa Trayavanmulanam. Harikatha is capable of completely uprooting the threefold miseries, adhyatmic, adibautic, adidaivik. So foolish persons, we are very foolish. We are laboring in this material world for illusory happiness. And Nityananda Prabhu is very kindly giving mercy. Oh, we have heard this. But what specifically does it mean? Koti Chandra Sushitala. Srila Gurudev has explained that at the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, one can find all bhavas, including Manjari bhav, including the serving mood of the Palyadasis of Srimati Radhika. Although Nityananda Prabhu is not with Mahaprabhu when Mahaprabhu is experiencing Radha Bhav, only Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, Sri Ramananda Rai, very intimate associates, but Nityananda Prabhu is Akhanda Guru Tattva, as Prabhuji was saying. So, Srila Gurudev has given a very beautiful Harikatha. This has been given originally in Hindi, and then it was given in the book Sri Prabandhavali. So, there was once a barber. What is the business of the barber? Barber is cutting hair, doing shaving, right? So barber has his tools of the trade. He has razors, scissors, all kinds of things for doing his cutting. And barbers also are the persons who will go and do various message delivery, to give an invitation. Oh, barber will be sent here, there, everywhere, because the barber knows everyone, everyone knows the barber. And barber knows everyone's business also. So it will be, the barber will be a trusted person. Barber was going somewhere on the path. He saw that there is a lion. The lion is lying on the path. The barber thought, oh my God, I'm going to be eaten. This lion is going to devour me. Hey Ram, Ram, Ram. And then he saw the lioness just lying there and licking his paw. He looked more closely. He saw that there is a thorn very deeply embedded in the lion's paw. So the barber thought, one way or the other, I am finished, but let me try to do something. So he went very cautiously and he used his tools and he extracted the thorn from the lion's paw, and then he collected some herbs nearby and he put some antiseptic poultice and he bound it up, because barber also knows some Ayurvedic healing and a little bit of surgery. And then the lion went away peacefully. After some years, this barber was arrested on suspicion of a great crime. It was some murder. And he was to be executed. So he was brought before the king, and the king said, oh, very recently, we captured a very ferocious lion. Let this person be given to the lion, and the lion will have him for his meal, and we will solve two problems at one time. Lion will be fed and barber will be executed. So they put the barber in with the lion, and the lion was quite hungry. So the lion began roaring, "Arr!" But then the lion stopped roaring and he came close to the barber and he was making a purring sound. And the barber recognized, oh, this is the same lion whose paw I treated. And then when this news reached the king thought, oh, we have put this barber in with this very hungry lion, and now lion has been inspired not to take his life. It must be that I was wrong and he is quite innocent. So he had the barber brought and he offered his apologies and he released the barber. So Srila Gurudev has explained, Even that lion had so much gratitude over something that was done some years before. And the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu is like this. We will do some very small thing, and Nityananda Prabhu is so kind and so merciful to us. Amara Kiniya Loha Bolo Gaura Hari. Just chant the name Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari. And Nityananda Prabhu says, I give myself to that person. How merciful is Nityananda Prabhu? And so, Mahaprabhu was preaching and he was spreading prem all throughout West Bengal. And he also went to Varanasi and South India and Jagannath Puri. And he was giving his kripa, and especially to the very intelligent class, educated class, intellectual class. He sent Nityananda Prabhu, he said, I want you to go to those places where there are fallen people, outcasts, persons who are even outside Vedic Dharma, chandalas, and give them Harinam, give them this prem. So why it is very special to us? Because Nityananda Prabhu came here in the form of my Nam Guru, Shiksha Guru, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He resided within him. He walked with him, and he was directly responsible for so much activity of bhakti coming to the Western countries. And then our Gurudev, Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, came also to the Western countries, somehow or other, by hook or by crook, also by arrangement. And those of us who had become discouraged, who had forgotten, he also came. And again, this is Akhanda Guru Tattva. Oh, I have asked my Gurudev to accept me. Nowadays, some people think, I can imagine someone to be my Guru. He is my Guru. He is my Shiksha Guru. How he can be your Shiksha Guru? Have you come in front of him? How was Gurudev when we came in front of him? What will he say? Oh, Prabhu, stand up. Now explain this. You, stand up. Now explain that. This is what Guru will do. Otherwise, how can we say someone is my Shiksha Guru? We can say, I have accepted his Shiksha because I have accepted Shiksha of Srila Rupa Goswami. I have accepted Shiksha of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I have accepted Shiksha of Srila Jiva Goswami. I have accepted Shiksha of Srila Baladeva Jabhushan Prabhu. I have accepted Shiksha of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But I cannot say that I am their Shishya. I cannot say I am their Shiksha disciple, because I have not come in front of them. Tadviti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanena sattvadarshana. So there is so much that Srila Gurudev has explained about the category of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. As Prabhuji was saying, Nityananda Prabhu is the first expansion as Baladev. Brajendra Nandana Je Sachi Sutta Hoilo Se Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So Brajendra Nandan has come as Sachi Sutta, Sri Sachi Nandana Gaura Hari, and Balaram himself has come as Nityananda Prabhu. And together, Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaudo De Pushpavanto Chitro Shando Tamonudo. That Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauradesh, West Bengal, just to spread very wonderful benediction, to give blessings to all. Chitro Shando Tamonudo, and to completely dissipate ignorance. So there is a question sometimes that arises. Someone says, oh, I can do Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti will give me mukti. This is true. It is also said that someone may do Vaidhi Bhakti with also some some parts of Raganuga Bhakti. And then one may get, instead of going to Vaikuntha, Sarupya, Samishtya, Sarpi, Sarupya, Salokya, one will get Sarshti, one will get instead promotion to Dwarka, Mathura. But if someone wants to go to Golok Vrindavan, then they must do Raganuga Bhakti. In the beginning of Raganuga Bhakti, we give so much attention to Vidhi. Vidhi meaning rules. Rules are very important. We should rise, we should bathe, we should be clean, we should wear tilak, we should observe the principles given in Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Very important. So many rules and regulations are there. We should observe Ekadashi. All of these things are done. But actually we are following Raganuga Bhakti. We must be in Anugatya. We must have Lalyam. We must begin somewhere, even if the greed is very slight in the beginning. We have to feed it. We have to feed that greed, feed that desire by hearing Harikatha, by chanting, remembering, always in the association of pure devotees. So Srila Gurudev also has taken this opportunity to explain something about the tattva of Dham. Why is Dham tattva very important? Because Sri Krishna is Satchid Ananda. So Sat Krishna is, Baladev Ji is the Adhishtatri Devata of Sandhini Shakti. Sandhini Shakti is the existence and sustaining potency. And Sandhini Shakti is manifest as the Dham itself and as the bodies of all the Brajavasis. Krishna is Adhishtatri Devata of Samvit, Chit Shakti, and Sri Radhika is Adhishtatri Devata of Hladini Shakti, pleasure-giving potency of Sri Krishna. So all three of these together are required. So there is Goloka. Now there is a question about Goloka. Goloka, sometimes someone will say, it is said that Indra brought Surabhi. Why did Indra bring Surabhi, and when did Indra bring Surabhi? Surabhi cow was brought at what time? What time did Indra bring? Someone can tell? When did Krishna? After Govardhan Leela, yes. And what did Surabhi do? She gave her milk for doing Abhishek of Sri Krishna. So it is said that Indra brought Surabhi from Golok. Did Indra go to Golok Vrindavan and bring Surabhi? No. There is a place in this universe called Golok. Because the structure is that there is this universe, and then there is Siddhaloka, which is also called Mahakalapur, where the great yogis and demons killed by Krishna go to swim in the Brahmajyoti and imagine that they are liberated, but they are not actually merged. And then there is the Sadashiva Loka is above that, and above Sadashiva Loka is the abode of Vaikuntapati Narayan. But then above Narayan is the Golok. Now that Golok has also millions of different prakoshtas or chambers. Even in the Vaikuntha Dham, there are so many prakoshtas. There are prakoshtas of Varahadev, Nrsingadev, all different avatars. And in Golok also, there is Dwarka, Mathura, Ayodhya. But the innermost chamber of Golok is Golok Vrindavan. And that is the goal of those in the line of Mahaprabhu who aspire for Raganuga Bhakti. So, how is this all to be given? How have we received this? How have we known this? If our Srila Prabhupada had given us Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and even some of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, how will we know about Raganuga Bhakti? There is one main literature by which we know about this, and that is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which Srila Prabhupada went to complete first, even before trying to complete Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he insisted it should be finished in 18 months, 17 volumes in 18 months, something like that. And devotees were saying, oh, Srila Prabhupada, this won't be possible. And he put his cane down. Impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. He insisted that had to be published. This was his legacy. He published Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he completed Srimad Bhagavatam up to the 10th canto, up to Brahma Vimohan Leela. So, why? And how did Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita come to be written? There was a big festival, a big mahotsav. So many devotees were invited. And there was a big festival of Mahaprabhu. And there was one devotee, associate of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, named Meenaketana Ramdas. Meenaketana Ramdas was quite unusual. Sometimes he would step on the head of a devotee. Sometimes he would slap someone with his flute. And sometimes he would slap their face. And if he hit anyone with his flute, they would get prem. Ashtasattvic vikar would occur within their body and they would achieve prem very shortly. He was such a great devotee. But in this assembly, Meenaketana Ramdas came and he was singing the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. He climbed on the shoulders of one devotee. He climbed on the back of another devotee. And then he was hitting someone with his flute and slapping someone else. And there was one devotee there who was the brother of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The pujari saw this and he was feeling, oh, what is this? This is very wrong. And all the devotees rose to honor Meenaketana Ramdas. Because to honor a pure devotee is very important. Right? Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Sri Murtir Shraddhaya Sevan Mathura Vasa. These are 5 things which are very, very important. And the first one is Sadhu Sangha. And Sadhu Sangha means Satam Prasangan. Prasangan means to favorably associate, means that we give honor to pure Vaishnavas. We give honor to them. And then when we give honor to Vaishnavas, then Kripa will come. And what the instructions that come from their lotus mouths will stick to our hearts and we will actually get some benefit. But some persons would come and see sadhu with suspicion and critical ideas, looking to find some dirt. And then they get nothing. They become cheated. They have met pure sadhu and they get nothing. So it is a very sad thing. But anyway, in this sabha, there was the pujari, and the pujari was not giving any respect. All the devotees stood up and gave respect to Meenaketana Ramdas, but the pujari just remained sitting, and he was thinking, oh, I don't like this person. And then Meenaketana Ramdas said, see, we have here a second Ramaharshana Sutta. Ramaharshana Sutta was the person who remained, did not give respect, did not get up from the Vyasasan when Sri Baladev Prabhu came, and then Baladev Prabhu slew him with the blade of kusha grass. And then he installed his son Sri Sutta Goswami as the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, everyone thought this was appropriate, but this one person, brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he spoke out. He said, why is this only glorifying Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda? Why are we not also glorifying Mahaprabhu? Oh, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was very upset. He said, this is Ardhakukuti-nyaya. Ardhakukuti-nyaya means the logic of half a hen. I will only take the half that gives the eggs, not the half that I have to feed. It is the colorful sutra in Nyaya for bad logic. I'm going to take one thing, but not the other part that is inseparable. Because Nityananda and Gauranga, they are one. They are one. Nityananda Prabhu is Baladev Prabhu. Only there is some differentiation in rasa. But they are not separate. They are not different. And Heno Nitai Vinay Bhai Radha Krishna Paite Na. You must have the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Ar kabe Nitai Chan Karuna Hoibe Samsara Vasana Mor Kabe Tucha Habe. Oh, when will Nitai Chand have mercy on me? Only then will my desires to remain in this material world become insignificant. We are not doing mechanical sadhana bhakti like a yogi hammering and hammering and hammering, and all the material desires will get crushed. We are weeping and weeping and begging and begging. Oh, Gurudev, oh Nityananda Prabhu, please give me your kripa. Let me have a taste for Harinam. Let my aparad be finished. Let taste come, ruchi may come. Let rati come in my heart. Please, I am begging for this. I am weeping for this. This is our process. So, he said, this is complete nonsense. This is logic of half a hand. You cannot accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without accepting Nityananda Prabhu, and glorification of Nityananda Prabhu is glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Devadi Deva Gaura Chandra Gauri Dasa Mandire Nityananda Sange Gaura Ambika Devi Hare. Gauridas Pandit is singing this, and he is thinking on Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu coming. He wanted them to stay and not go. So instead, his murtis of Shri Shri Gaur Nitai left, and Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu stayed as his Archa Vigraha. So, this was the thinking of Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And then he left that place. He could not stand to remain in that place where Sri Miniketan Ramdas had been blasphemed. And he went, he went to Jamatpur. And he was staying there. And he was very disturbed. So he fell asleep that night. And then he had a vision. Nityananda Prabhu came before him, and he had a very glossy, blackish complexion. He was swaying back and forth and singing Krishna, 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 as if intoxicated. His teeth looked like pomegranate seeds stained from chewing betel nut, and he was wearing a turban and carrying a cowherd boy staff in his hand. And he saw Nityananda Prabhu in his vision, and Nityananda Prabhu blessed him. He said, "O Krishnadas, go to Vrindavan, and there you will achieve all desirable things." It is because of this order of Nityananda Prabhu, that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was able to write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Govinda Lilamrita and other literatures as well. By the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Then he got shelter of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and he got from the notebooks of Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, from Sri Murari Gupta, from notebook of Sri Murari Gupta. He wrote most of what is in Adi Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and from notebooks of Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, and Govinda also. Govinda had the Karacha also notebook. He wrote the Madhya Leela, Antya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So why did Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, why did he choose Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and not Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat? Because Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita gives us the highest truths of Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. He said once that Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the postgraduate study. At one point, he wanted there to be Bhakti Shastri, meaning learn Bhagavad Gita, basic things of bhakti, and then Bhakti Vedanta degree, learning Srimad Bhagavatam, and Bhakti Sarvabhauma, based on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu has given so much blessing to us, and he specifically came to deliver the most fallen persons. Who could be found more fallen than those persons in Western countries who have no sanskars, who do not have any impressions from previous life of worshipping Bhagavan or even worshipping Devi Devatas like Shankarji, who is a Param greatest Vaishnav, and are addicted to unclean habits. This was the work of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. There was so many kirtans that Srila Guru Maharaj used to sing. Nitai Padakamala, also there was that one, Aniya Durlabha Prem. He cut a canal, and Srila Prabhupada's own words. Mahaprabhu flooded the whole world with prem, but there were still some people who were floating, who were not submerged. So Nityananda Prabhu cut a canal to bring this flood everywhere. And so he brought this flood here. Now sometimes someone will think, oh, what does it mean, has brought prem? Does that mean that prem has been received? No, prem is only received when we will achieve Vastu Siddhi. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango Tabachana Kriya Tato Narta Nivitti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchistada Tata Saktis Tato Bhava Tata Premabhyudanshati Sadhakanam Ayam Premna Pradhur Bhave Bhavet Kramaha. These are the stages of prem, which culminate in this life, and in life after life we are aspiring to come to the point of rati or bhav, when the Hladini, Samvit, Shakti mixed together come as Vishuddha Sattva and enter the heart. And when Vishuddha Sattva touches the 8 elements of the body, there are 8 types of transformation. Shivering of the body, standing of the hairs on end, faltering of the speech, fainting, tears pouring from the eyes. This is called Ashta Sattvik Vikar. And so, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has given this one kirtan. Gauranga bolite kabe pulaka sharir, hari hari bolite nayane babinir. Oh, when will I say Gauranga, Gauranga, and then I will experience Ashta Sattvik Vikar? When will I experience? When will there be trembling in my body? He is saying this. Why? Because we have no such reaction. We say Gauranga, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And nothing happens. We fall asleep. Instead, we should be jumping up, dancing, chanting, and, bouncing off the ceiling with our bodies trembling and unable, voice faltering. But we're very unfortunate. So we pray for the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu on this most auspicious day, that he should bless us, and he should give us the strength, and he should give us his kripa. Because who can be more fallen than me? Mosamo patita Prabhu, napai behar. You won't find anyone else so fallen as me. And so I am begging, I am weeping, I am crying, because I need your mercy. So, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Go.
Jai Sadhu Sadhu. Shankar Shanakarna Toshai Gavurashai Cha Payobadishai Sheshascha Ankshash Kalaha Sa Nityanandakya Rama Sharanam Namastu. So very nice explanations Welcome in, Prabhuji. Very nice to see you. It's been a long time. Hari Bol, Raghunath Prabhu. Hari Bol, Dhanavad. Dhanavad. Oh, we're very fortunate. So, both Bhumipati Prabhu and Sri Atul Prabhu spoke so wonderfully about the glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Without Nityananda Prabhu, there is no existence. Prabhuji mentioned that actually, Haribol Prabhuji, Haribol, that actually Gurudev told that Sri Nityananda Ram is everything. The ontology that's explained regarding Nityananda Prabhu starts with Sri Krishna himself. So Brahmaji, when he was becoming realized, the first thing he wrote in the 5th chapter of Brahma Samhita, which is the only chapter that we have, was Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sava Karina Karinam. That Sri Krishna is the cause of all causes. Prabhuji, please sit down now. He is the cause of all causes. And what is it that he causes to happen? He causes two phenomena. One is the transformation of his own Shakti. The second is the expansion of himself in order to taste the various expansions of that Shakti. So the very first expansion of Sri Krishna is called Vaibhav Prakash. It means that that person who is the direct manifestation of Krishna with a Visesh Bhav. So who is that person? Baladev Tattva. So Baladev Tattva is called Vaibhav Prakash. He is directly Krishna himself. He's not someone different. It's just that he embodies a Visesh Bhav. What is that Visesh Bhav? Visesh means a speciality. He embodies the speciality of being the embodiment of all existence, and hence all moods of service, hence all the ingredients of service, hence the very nature of what service does is all in the prasana of Sri Baladev Tattva. Therefore, his name is Balaram. But without Shakti, there's no ability to give Krishna pleasure. So Krishna's own Shakti manifests, Radha Krishna Chayi Sada Eki Sarup, Lila Rasa Shudite, Dare Dui Rup. His own Shakti expands in a separate form. That form is called Srimati Radharani, and she is the, as Prabhuji mentioned, the Adidistatra Devi of the Ladini Vritti. Sometimes I want to make one clarification here. Every jiva is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Every jiva is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. But when Sat, Chit, Ananda is imbued with pure spiritual function based on the empowerment coming from Baladev Tattva to serve Krishna, the functions of that existence, cognizance, and potentiality of happiness become Sandini, Samvit, and Aladini. So there's a difference between the two things. Is everybody clear? They're not the same. Sometimes devotees think, because in common parlance, sometimes they're spoken Satchidananda. Just like in the verse in Brahma Samhita, Satchidananda Vigraha. But here we should know that Satchidananda means Sandini, Samvit, and Aladini Vrittis are the optimal function of Satchidananda. So they're not the same. In fact, it is this Sandini, Samvit, Aladini which is absent in the Bada Jiva that makes them able to be conditioned by Maya. This is the difference between Bada Jivas and eternally liberated Jivas. The absence of this Chit Bhav, Chit Shakti, or Swarup Shakti, they're all synonyms for that. The absence of that is what makes the Jiva eligible to be bound in the material world. So in the spiritual domain, the function of Satchidananda is Sandini, Samvit, and Aladini. That Aladini Vritti is the essence of everything that causes Krishna to become the cause of all causes. So in other words, the original cause of all causes is whom? Radharani. Because other than that, there's no reason for Krishna to expand himself. There's no reason to make his own Atmaramata into the separate form, which is Radhika. It's explained in Skanda Purana, Atmaramastu Radhika Tasya Eva Ramana Aso. Atmaramas iti prokta muni bir guyavedi bir. The confidential meaning of the word Atmaram is that Krishna has Radhika always doing Ramana in his heart. There are three deities in Vrindavan which are the personification of this fact. What three deities? Radha Raman, Bankabihari Jew, and Sri Radha Vallabh Jew. These three deities, there's no separate deity of Radhika in those temples. Because it's explained that Radhika is doing Ramana in the heart of Krishna. You understand? When a separate form of Radhika is manifest, it is called Pararamita. Pararamita means when Krishna is enjoying himself with his manifest Ladini Shakti, fully manifest separately in a form which is Radharani. Understand? In order to accommodate unlimited expansions to enjoy that Ladini Vritti in several functions, including Lakshmi, Sita, all the different forms of Shakti that accompany Bhagavan, then Krishna himself expands into so many avatars and forms, beginning with Vaibhav Prakash, Sri Baladev Tattva. Baladev Tattva is also called Seva Vritti, Seva Vastu. He is the attitude of serving Krishna, and he's the substance of serving Krishna. So I've given an example before that if somebody wants to do a service for somebody, born from their love and affection for that person. So the mood of the love and affection is the essential ingredient which causes a person to do the service. But if you don't have the substance, then what happens? So if you say, oh, I love you very much, I want to make you a dinner. So then you're waiting 1 hour past, 2 hours past, 3 hours past. No dinner's there. No, I told you, I love you and I want to make you dinner. You understand? So the attitude is not the substance. So the substance is manifest from the Sandhini Shakti. You understand this point, this trilogy? So that substance is Sri Baladev Tattva. Therefore, because the power to give pleasure to Krishna through that substance is coming from Radhika, that Shakti is present in Baladev Tattva. That's why he's called Bal, means power or Shakti, Ram, Ramayate Rama, the power to give pleasure to Krishna through the unlimited manifestations of substance in the Dham and everywhere else is called Balaram. You understand? The power to give Krishna pleasure comes from whom? Huh? Radhika, the Ladini Vritti. That is the pleasure potency. Baladev is the Vastu, he's the substance of that, and he's the Vritti, the tendency or the function of doing that. Therefore, he manifests all the substances of the Dham. Vrindavan Dham is made of Sandhini Shakti. That is Baladev Tattva. Krishna's own body is made of Sandhini Shakti. That is Baladev Tattva. All Brijabasis, all Sadhana Siddhas, all Nitya Siddhas except the Kaya View of Radhika, all made of Sandhini Shakti, they're all expanded from Sri Baladev Tattva. And they're imbued with the Ladini Vritti to give pleasure with Krishna. You understand? So the spiritual form that you attain even in your perfection will be made of Sandhini Shakti. And the power of Ladini Vritti in your spiritual form is what makes your form pleasurable to Krishna. You understand? So this is the trilogy of Krishna as the predominating deity of Samvit Shakti, cognition of spiritual reality. Baladev Tattva is the very substance of the Sandhini Shakti, and Srimati Radhika is the embodiment of Ladini Vritti. That Ladini Vritti is itself love of God. Understand this? It's described Ladini Sada Prem, Prem Sada Bhav, Bhav Paramakastana Mahabhav, Mahabhav Swarupini Shri Radha Thakurani. You understand? So the very embodiment of what is love of God, which is what Krishna derives pleasure from, is actually Srimati Radharani herself. But if there's no substance to express it, how will it be manifest? Baladev Tattva Sandhini Shakti is that manifest function, manifest substance to express that love. That's how that trilogy works. And Krishna is the object of that love, and from him the cognition that those who love him is expressed. You understand? In other words, your ability to be cognizant of loving Krishna comes from Krishna himself. The love is Radhika. The substance of your love, even your spiritual body, all of your service mood, comes from Baladev Tattva. So Baladev is actually everything. I heard one lecture of Gurudev yesterday that Baladev is everything. And being everything, he functions to attract everything to Krishna. Therefore, another name for Baladev is?
Gravity.
No, that's Maya pulling us into the material world. What is another name for Baladev? Sun? Sankarshan. Sankarshan means sun means everything. Karshan means what attracts everything to the source, which is Krishna. His name, therefore, Shankarshan. In order to attract the Bada Jivas, he also becomes Mool Shankarshan. And then that Mool Shankarshan expands into Chatavya Vasudev Shankarshan Pradyumna Niruddha in Dwarka and Mathura. Then another Shankarshan, Mahasankarshan, manifests. That Shankarshan then manifests the second Chatuvya, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna Niruddha, who then manifests unlimited Vishnu Murtis in all the Vaikuntha planets. Then that same person, Baladev, manifests from the second Sankarshan, becomes the Purusha avatars, which is in this prayer. He becomes Karnodakshayi Vishnu, Gavodakshayi Vishnu, and Shirodakshayi Vishnu. As Karnodakshayi Vishnu, he manifests all of the elements for the creation. As Gavodakshayi Vishnu, in each universe, he manifests those elements within the lotus stem, and from that lotus, he gives the engineer who will organize everything, who's Lord Brahma. The Bada Jivas in this world, they are manifest from whom? I'll go back. Baladev Tattva manifests all the Jivas of Vrindavan. And by extension, the Shankarshan manifests all the residents of Mathura and Dwarka. Mahashankarshan and Vaikuntha manifest all the Vaikuntha Vasis. Who manifests the Bada Jivas? Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. In Paramatma Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami's mentioned, we are Paramamaika Seshitva. We are expansions of Paramatma. Therefore, the actual direct relationship that we have is Seshitva to Seshai Bhagavan, meaning Paramatma. When our bhakti becomes mature, it's that very Paramatma that reveals himself to be Sri Krishna. And then by extension, his consort Radhika, etc., etc. Understand? So where the Sesh means the energy of Jiva Shakti coming from Param Atma. That Paramatma's origin is Baladev Tattva. Understand? So in this way, Gurudev was breaking down how Baladev is everything. Therefore, the material world, the 5 gross elements, all of the elements of the Mahatattva, 24 elements, who's the source of that? Baladev Tattva. You understand? And who that Baladev, Prabhuji quoted. Vrajendra Nandan say, Sachisuta Hoilo say, Balaram Hoilo. That same Nityananda is the source of all of these things. Therefore, Nityananda Prabhu is the manifest form, as he mentioned, of Guru Tattva, because the entire material world, the inherent purpose or teleology for everything is what? What is the whole world made for? It's inherent in the name Sankarshan. What is everything meant for? To attract us to Krishna. Is the material world and Maya meant to attract us to Krishna? Certainly is. Mogasha Moga Kamano, Moga Gyan Vichetasa. Because you'll fool around with Maya for so long, eventually you become Mogasha Moga Kamano, Moga Gyan Vichetasa. I can't take this anymore. You understand? So it is the negative attraction principle towards looking for an alternative. That's when Mati arises in the Jiva. Sava Sangamena Ratnyankur Rupa Eva Mati. Mati means that point that rises, I can't deal with this anymore. There has to be an alternative. If there are bhakti samskars in that jiva, praptanak samskars in that jiva, when they look for the alternative to the frustration of material world, they turn to the path of bhakti based on previous impressions. If there are no previous impressions, then they may turn towards gyan, yog, or so many other different paths, until frustration arises there, or the desire for a greater taste of happiness, then they'll turn to the path of bhakti. Understand? So everything is the function of Baladev Tattva to attract us towards Krishna. That Nityananda Prabhu was non-different from that Baladev Tattva. But there is one major difference. What is the one major difference of Nityananda Tattva from Baladev Tattva? I'm asking.
Servants of Bhagavan.
Baladev is the embodiment of service. All the 5 rasas are present in Baladev Tattva. And the expansion of his Shakti becomes a Nanga Manjari. A Nanga Manjari is a Manjari? No. Oh, everybody knows this. What is she? She's Varasaki. She's just in charge of so many Manjaris. You understand? Because she's the archetype of service. She's the younger sister of Radhika. She's the archetype of service mood towards Radhika. But she's actually Varasaki according to Radhagana Dashtipika. You understand? So what is the difference? What one element is different in Nityananda Tattva?
Causeless mercy.
The extreme causeless mercy which is present in the descent of the Adhoja Lila of Mahaprabhu. Understand? The extreme causeless mercy which is inherent in the Adhoja Lila of Mahaprabhu is fully manifest in Nityananda. Therefore, more even than Mahaprabhu, mercy is present in Nityananda Tattva. You understand? Because Prabhuji mentioned you cannot even understand the descent of Mahaprabhu if it is not for Nityananda. This is the meaning in the verse, Panchatatvakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. In this verse is saying that the Bhakta Rup has manifested in this world. You understand? The Bhakta Rup means the pinnacle of love. What is the pinnacle of praying? Maranakya Bhava is Radhika's praying. That's not the pinnacle of praying. What is the pinnacle of the vritti of praying? It's there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm quoting the verse. Shri Radha Pranay Vikriti Ladini Shakti Asmad. I'm quoting. What is the pinnacle of praying? Mahaprabhu told in Ramananda Samvad. He told so many tattvas up to the point of the glory of Radhika's Maranakya Mahabhav. Then he told Mahaprabhu, there's one more thing I can tell you if you want to hear. What is that thing that he wanted to tell? Prem Vivat Vilas. What is Prem Vilas Vivat? The word Vivat means an inversion. An inversion means when the nature of the love rises so high, Shri Radha Pranay, when Radhika's love rises to a point where the Ashraya and the Vishaya invert roles. You understand? Because the Vishaya of praying becomes so absorbed in the nature of the pranay expressed by his beloved, he thinks, Shri Radha Pranay Mahima Kitraso Vanyeva. What is the glory of this love? What way does she experience my Chaturmaduris? Means the 4 kinds of specialities of Krishna. What is it that makes her happiness appear to be 10 billions of times more than mine? So when the Vishaya wants to understand this, then Ladini Vritti transforms and makes the arrangement for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You understand? Chaitanyakyam prakritam taradunam chayakyam aptam. That Ladini Vritti's transformation is what causes the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You understand? Ladini Vritti means the essence of love. When that essence of love reaches so high that Krishna himself, he says, Purva Vrajavilase 18 Abhilas. Even after Ras Leela, which is the pinnacle of all Leelas, Rasanam Sumaha Iti Rasa. All rasas are present in the Ras Leela. If you see Rasa Leela, if you see it written in Devanagari, the word Rasa has a short A. Ras Leela, there's a long A because it means Ashvadan. The ability to taste all rasas in one Leela. You understand? So it's called Ras Leela. In there, all the Leelas of up to Maranakya Mahabhav is tasted in that one Leela. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, again in Ramananda Samvad, he mentions Samyak Saravasana Krishna Ras Leela. The completeness of all rasa is manifest in this Ras Leela. And Rasa Leela Vasanate Radhika Shrinkala. The binding thread of that Ras Leela is Shri Radhika herself. But in that Ras Leela, Krishna realizes, oh, there's something in me which is missing. Something that I cannot understand. That is, what is the mood of the Ashraya Jatya Shrimati Radhika? I desire to taste this mood. There's one verse, Aparakalita Purva Chamakasachari. He says he sees himself in a pillar in Dwarka. Actually, this verse comes from Lalit Madhav. And there's a whole other pastime related to it. But in Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita is quoted also, Aparakalita Purva Chamakas Chamatkarakari. That he sees his form in a pillar in Dwarka and thinks, oh, I've never seen such beauty in my life. But then the last verse says, Sarabhoktam, Sarabhasam, Upabhoktam, Kamaye Radhika Eva. I desire to enjoy this form like Radhika. You understand? So he doesn't see himself and think, oh, how beautiful, I wish I could enjoy this form. He says, Radhika Eva, I want to enjoy this form like Srimati Radhika does. You understand? So this mood is the inherent mood of the inversion of the Vishaya, the object of love, Krishna, wanting to be in the position of Srimati Radhika. Understand? So the Bhakta Roop that descends to this world in Gaur Leela is the manifest form of that pinnacle of praying. Therefore, Mahaprabhu's Leela is called what? Ram Leela is called Maryada Purushottam Leela. Krishna's Leela is called Leela Purushottam Leela. What is Mahaprabhu's Leela called? Prem Purushottam. Because what's on display is the pinnacle of praying. You understand? It exceeds, because all Leelas, in the verse I quoted earlier, Radha Krishna Chari Sada Eki Sarup, Leela Rasa Ashwadite Dare Duiru. He's taken two forms to taste the inherent rasa in various Leelas. But they hit their pinnacle when Krishna realizes what is the mood of Radhika. This thing is called the Bhakta Roop. But how will you understand what is the Bhakta Roop? You need the Bhakta Swarup. Bhakta Swarup means the revelation of what that Roop is. So I've given the example before. Somebody comes to your door. You open the door and you see somebody standing there. 10 seconds go by. 20 seconds go by. 30 seconds, and you look at your watch even. And then more time is going by. What happens after maybe 45 seconds? What happens? Shut the door. Right? But if that person says, oh, hi, my name is so-and-so Das. I'm your godbrother from so-and-so place. What do you do to me? Oh, please come in. Have a seat. Arrange prasad. So many different things. Because the revelation of the root that you saw is now manifest to you. So that revelation by their speaking is called the Swarup. You understand? Everybody understand what I'm saying? Understand? Nityananda Prabhu is the Swarup that reveals what is the Bhakta Roop. So he quoted, Heno Nitya Vine by Radha Krishna Poitinai. Without that revelatory power that comes from Akhanda Guru Tattva Shri Baladev Tattva for serving Krishna, and in Gaur Leela Shri Nityananda, you cannot understand what is the Bhakta Roop. Which is superior? Which is superior?
Revelatory power.
The revelatory power in Gaur Leela. Because the power in Braj Leela is established permanently. The Nitya Siddhas always realize who is Krishna. Therefore, there's not the additive of the extreme mercy that comes in the Ordorja Leela. So the position of Nityananda as part of Baladev Tattva is a superior, transcendentally speaking, because there's no mundane material metric. Transcendentally speaking, superior. The form of Gaur Roop is superior even to Krishna Leela. Why? Because you can't even approach Krishna Leela without going through Gaur Leela. Because the revelatory power of what is Krishna can save Bada Jivas. Can Bada Jivas directly approach Sri Krishna Leela? No. What is necessary? Gaur Leela. And in Gaur Leela, what is necessary? The mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And on Dvaita Saptami, we spoke that unless that revelation descends to this world, how will we get it? So the Bhakta Avatar is Advaita Acharya. But even if it descends to the plane of the Jivas, without the power of Bhakti, Bhakti Shakti, how will you get it? So who gives Bhakti Shakti in that Leela? Gadadhar Pandit. Srimati Radhika herself descends. You understand? To give that Shakti. But do you get the Shakti directly from Gadadhar Pandit? How will you get that Shakti? Srivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Why is he Srivas? He quoted the Chaitanya Charita Murari Gupta. There he says, Shri Bhakti Rasa Hridoya Tam Hata Srivas Uchate. Your name is Srivas because Sri Radhika has taken up Vas, residence in your heart. Therefore, you are known as Srivas. So those pure devotees headed by Srivas are the way by which this revelation of the Bhakta Roop come to all the jivas of this world. Therefore, Nityananda Prabhu manifests himself as Vyasti Guru. It means that Nityananda enters into the heart of all of those who are performing the function of Guru, if they're genuine. If they have Guru Abhiman, how is Nityananda Prabhu in their heart? If you have Guru Abhiman, then you're obfuscating the position of Nityananda. You understand? Therefore, when Srila Prabhupada prayed on the Jaladut, he prayed, listen, if you don't help me in this mission, what kind of boldness does Srila Prabhupada had to confront Nityananda? What? Because Srila Prabhupada must be in a position, he can tell Baladev Tattva, if you don't help me in this mission, I will not help you to arrange your meeting with Radhika. He's telling to Krishna. You understand? He's telling Krishna, if you help me, I have sway with Radhika. Who has that kind of sway with Radhika?
The servants.
Her own servants. They have that kind of sway. I can help you meet to Krishna, to my Radhika. You understand? If you help me, how will you help me? Oh, you give me the power that when I come to this place of not one Jagai, not two, not Jagai Madai, one set, but billions and billions of Jagai Madais. So I need extraordinary power. So this was realized and written in one of Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantras. Guru Agya Sirasi Dharane. By taking the order of his Guru, Nayana Muni Manjari, on his head, he became Anusandan, means completely absorbed in that order for 20-something years in Vrindavan, at Radha Damodar, in the association of Sri Rup Manjari, Rup Goswami. You understand? Taking deep meditation absorption. He was absorbed. On the Jaladut, when he prayed for that order, immediately Nityananda gave him that blessing. So in the 8th verse of that Jaladut prayer, he glorifies Sakya Rasa and the coward boys, which led people to think Srila Prabhupada's in Sakya Rasa. You understand? But what he received was the mercy of Baladev Tattva in the form of Nityananda Tattva. Guru Agisirasi Dharani Shakjave Swarupine. He became the embodiment, as Prabhuji mentioned, of Sri Nityananda Shakti. Why? Because only Nityananda Prabhu can reveal who is Mahaprabhu, and only by understanding Mahaprabhu can you enter into Radha Krishna Lila. You understand? Therefore, Srila Prabhupada emptied himself to carry that Shakti of Nityananda. You understand? Because it was not a question in delivering the prophecy of Mahaprabhu. So when I traveled this year for Harikatha, this is our theme. Every time we hear this verse, what is the meaning of the verse? We've all used to say for so many years that the holy name would be, everybody? Every town and village, the holy name would be spread. Listen to the verse. Prithviya Chayata Nagaradigram, every town and village. Savatra Prachar Hoibe Moranam. The prachar of the holy name would go all over the world. The prachar of the holy name is all the things that Srila Prabhupada gave in the form of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Upadeshamrita. This is the prachar of the holy name. You could have made a record and had people chanting the holy name. Credits to George Harrison. You understand? But that wasn't the prachar of the holy name. You understand? The prachar of the holy name came personified in Srila Prabhupada, who is the embodiment of the Shakti of Nityananda. And then in the embodiment of the Bhav of Rup Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad, Srila Gurudev came in 1996 and fulfilled the inner part of that prophecy. Just like Yankali Rupa Sharira Nadarata Tanbraja Prema Mahanidhi Kutarika. The Kutarika, the treasure chest of Srila Prabhupada's fulfillment of the prophecy, was in all of his writings. Who opened that treasure chest? Srila Gurudeva Ki Jai. You understand? He opened that treasure chest of all the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. And then by extension, so many of his sevaks also continuing traveling, continuing to open that treasure chest under the auspices of Gurudev. You understand? So this is the position of Sri Nityananda Ram. He is the revelatory power, and he manifests in Vyasti Guru Tattva. So every guru is actually the expansion only of the power of Sri Nityananda Ram. Why? Because Guru Tattva, doesn't only mean, like in Baladev Tattva, Seva Vastu, the substance of service, and the Vritti, the attitude of serving, is present. But where does it mention there that the Karun Shakti is there? To whom he'll give Karun Shakti in Vrindavan? Nitya Golok Gokul Vrindavan. To whom you need to bestow mercy. Rather, he receives mercy. You understand? He receives the mercy of the love and affection of all Brijabasis. To whom he'll give mercy. It's only coming in Gaur Leela's Nityananda Ram that the extremity of the Mahakarun Shakti becomes present in him. And who's the ocean of Karun Shakti? Who's the ocean of mercy? Srimati Radharani. She's the ocean of Karun Shakti. Yes. Karunam Kurumai Karunam Barite. Sanaka Sanatan Varanita Charite. That ocean of mercy now becomes present in Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Therefore, when Mahaprabhu called, he said, Suno Nityananda, Suno Haridas. You go out and preach. Prabhuji told you, go out and preach. Who did he approach? He didn't go to a university. Because now, you know, the whole big thing, we stole university preaching. High class of preaching to the intelligentsia. Who did he go to? Jagai Madai. You understand? So real manifestation of the Karun Shakti of Nityananda Prabhu is manifest that whoever is available, he told, anywhere and to everyone you go to, you give this holy name. That is our mission. Whomever you meet, you give this holy name. So this is the ontology of Sri Nityananda Ram. Of course, Sri Nityananda's appearance takes place in Sri Ekachakra Gram. He appeared 12 years before the appearance of Mahaprabhu. Jai Shri Shri Har Govinda Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Govinda Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. So he appeared in Ekachakra Gram some 12 years before the appearance of Mahaprabhu. He was born to Hadai Pandit or Hadai Oja and Padmavati. At that time, Sri Nityananda Prabhu was the jewel of the village of Ekachakra. Upon his appearance, it was like the moon had descended there. So even in the most hot times, means any kind of crazy times, the moon of Nityananda was the solace of all of the people of Ekachakra. As Nityananda Prabhu grew up, he demonstrated so many pastimes, right? Like Gurudev tells that he displayed one time the pastimes of Lord Ram in the position of Lakshman. And when he was fighting in the battle, when they were at Lanka, of course, Lakshman becomes wounded. And they tell Hanuman to go get the Sanjeevani mountain from Gandhanam on a mountain and bring it there. So during the pastime that the kids were playing, when that point in the pastime came and they shot with a flower arrow to Nityananda Prabhu, he fainted. But he was so fainted, he wasn't coming back. So then they told, well, what happened? What happened? And then when Hadai Pandit, the other elders came, they said, what happened? Oh, we were just playing from Ram Leela. And then we shot one flower arrow and Sri Nityananda fainted. And then Nitai fainted and we don't know what happened. So then he said, okay, they followed the rest of the pastime and they told the boy who was supposed to go get a mountain to go and bring some herbs. So they brought that herb back. And in this way, he became so absorbed in the Leela. This is called Anusandan. To become completely absorbed. So because of time, because we're getting short on time, it mentions that as he grew older, when he became around 12 years old, one sannyasi came to visit that village in Ekachakra. And it is the custom that whenever any sadhu comes, that you welcome them, you please them, you hear their harikatha, you honor them with mahaprasad, and you also give any pranami. And what is the pranami? So now we calculate pranami. Okay, what's my bank account look like this month? Okay, I know I can afford this here, you know? And then sometimes you put the $10 in, and then you put like 50 ones in there. So the envelope looks very big, you understand? So no, that time, pranami meant whatever the sadhu will request. Like Vishwamitra Muni, when he came to the court of Dasarat Maharaj, what was his pranami? To take Ram himself, Lakshman, with him. You understand? So in the same way, when this sannyasi came, and it was time for him to go, he said he wanted the pranami that he should give Nityananda Prabhu himself. You understand? He should give Nityananda Prabhu himself to travel with him. So of course, Hadai Pandit was overwhelmed with grief, just like Dasarat Maharaj. Just like in the case of Jagannath Misra, when Vishwarup left to take sannyas, he could not bear it, and he gave up his life. Hadai Pandit describes, Srila Gogovind Maharaj tells a very wonderful story. Every day, he used to go and he would sit under one tree, and he would take his Harinam there. So he sat under that tree, and he was taking his Harinam, Hare Krishna, Hare. He was so distraught. What else will you take shelter of? So he was sitting and he was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then they saw the preparations that Nityananda was about to leave. So he saw Nityananda come out with a small bundle. And he saw Padmavati come to the door, profusely crying. All Ekachakravasi's were there, and their minds were like stunned. And Hadai Pandit, he was looking and he was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, in great desperation. At that time, as the sannyasi went further and further and further, Hadai Pandit could not stand it. He took his japa mala and he put it on the tree. He hung it on one branch of the tree, and he began to run, Nittai, 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 Nittai. But actually, Nityananda didn't turn back, and that sannyasi didn't turn back, and Hadai Pandit fainted right there on the spot. It's described he never went back to that tree. That tree is famous today, Gogovind Maharaj says, as Malatala. It means the tree of the Mala of Sri Hadai Pandit. So that's one of the pilgrimage places in Ekachakra that devotees go to. So then that sannyasi, he took Nityananda Prabhu to all of the holy places. So why? So think about this. Nityananda Prabhu, Baladev Tattva, they are the Sandini Shakti itself. What are the holy places without the Shakti of Baladev Tattva and ultimately Srimati Radhika? Because the holy places are meant to give devotion. Even those who go bathe in the Ganga or Prayag, etc. for liberation, right? It's just because they are not yet mature in their understanding of what is the ultimate goal of the jiva, which is love of God. So all the holy places, when devotees go to bathe in Jamuna Ganga, what are they bathing there for? No. That I will get love of God. You understand? Pure, impure. Bhakti param, Bhagavati pratilabhya kamam. I may even be impure, but Krishna's mercy is so great, Radhika's mercy is so great, even they can give bhakti before the heart becomes pure. It's the meaning of that verse. But we shouldn't make that our sadhana. So sitting back with a beer and a television, Bhakti param, pratilabhya kamam. So this is not what, don't say Mukunda said in the class, like this. You understand? It means we're making all endeavor. But still, we should think, I have no power to purify myself. You understand? But I will do all endeavors. This is called Saranagati. That's why he told, Mahaprabhu's telling, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's writing in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Dikshakale Bhaktakane Atma Samarpan. Sekale Krishnatare Kare Atma Sam. At the time that you become Saranagat, and Saranagat means Anukuyasya Sankalpa Pratikuyasya Vivajanam. I will do what is favorable and avoid what is unfavorable. That's the extent of what we can do. We don't have the power to remove anarthas. We have no power to get rid of our sins. Because after you do those two things, you're completely dependent on Bhagavan. So the verse says, Rakshishiti Vishwas. I have a Vishwas, a conviction, that Mahaprabhu will give me all protection and bhakti. Goptrave Varanam Tata. And Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Panchatattva, my Gurudev, they will support my bhakti. Atmanikshep Karpanya, I will give myself fully to them in great humility, realizing I have no power of my own. This is called Saranagati. Understand? So even not pure, still, Krishna is so merciful, he can give bhakti. So when we bathe in any place, we're bathing there with the aspiration, oh Radhika, be merciful to me. My ultimate desire is to be your Palyadasi. Palyadashi Kori Lalita Shundari. This is my desire only. So this is why we bathe in any holy place. Understand? So Nityananda went with the sannyasi to invest that Shakti in all of the places, just like Balaram, during the battle of Kurukshetra, he went to all the holy places. He didn't fight in the battle. For what reason? To invest in all of these places, the Shakti, that love of God could be there if a person gets the association of a sadhu. You understand? That's why when we go on parikram, we go in anugatya vasadu. You understand? So that when we go to these places, we go to Radhakund, we go to Udavkund, we go to any place, Jamunaji, and we take bath in these places. It's under the anugatya and mercy of that sadhu we're praying. May my desire for my ultimate goal be fulfilled. Understand? So this is Baladev Tattva. So Nityananda went to all the holy places with the sannyasi. Finally, they came to Pandupur. Pandupur is where the deity of Vittalal is. Very famous deity. When I was preaching in Africa, there was one sannyasi who used to always sing the bhajan from there. Panduranga Vittalal, Panduranga Vittalal. Very beautiful deity there. Right? There's no time to tell the whole story. But anyway, this is also the place where Vishwarup gave up his life in the very end. After he'd taken sannyas, left home, did so many things, he left his world in Pandupur. So Mahaprabhu also had great affection for that place. But Nityananda Prabhu, he went there with that sannyasi. The next day, that sannyasi left Nityananda there in Pandupur and he went traveling. So the place they stayed was one disciple of that sannyasi. The next day, he just visited that place while visiting the temple. The next day, Lakshmipati Tirtha, who had a disciple who lived in that place in Pandupur, he came there to Pandupur. That night, while he was doing his sudden bhajan, right, all of a sudden, he had a great vision of Vrindavan. And in his vision of Vrindavan, he saw Baladev, very beautiful blue cloth, whitish colored body, with a stick in his hand. And Baladev directly came to him and told him in his ear, tomorrow you will meet a great personality. When you meet this personality, you should give them this mantra. And he whispered the mantra into the ear of Lakshmipati Tirtha. You understand? Lakshmipati Tirtha was so much entranced that he fainted. The night passed and the next day came. And Lakshmipati called his disciple and said, listen, is there any person who's staying here in your place? He said, there was one sannyasi here. And he brought with him a very small boy, maybe 12, 13 years old, 14 years old. But this boy was so beautiful and so enchanting. All night long after seeing that boy, I could not rest. He said, where is this boy now? Go and bring him immediately. So that disciple went and bought from the cottage there where Nityananda was staying. He bought Nityananda in front of this Lakshmipati Tirtha. When Lakshmipati Tirtha saw the form of Nityananda Prabhu, as he had become enchanted by the spurti of Baladev, he became enchanted by seeing this Nityananda Ram before him. At that time, he couldn't speak. He couldn't say. So Nityananda Ram then smiled. When he smiled, all Asa Sattvic Vikar came in the body of Lakshmipati Tirtha. Lakshmipati Tirtha was so bewildered. That time, Nityananda came to him and he told him, oh Sadhu, please tell me, is there something you need to tell me? And touching him, Lakshmipati Tirtha came back to consciousness, but he couldn't remember the mantra. He became so absorbed he couldn't remember the mantra. So Nityananda asked him, was there a mantra you were to give me? He could not remember. So Nityananda himself whispered in the ear of Lakshmipati Tirtha the same mantra that was given by Baladev Tattva. Understand? Because you can't initiate Nityananda Prabhu. Understand? But Nityananda told him the mantra, then he repeated. So it's mentioned, Nityananda Prabhum Vande Srimad Lakshmipati Priyam Shri Madhava Sampradaya Vadanam Bhakti Vatsalanam. So he initiated that Lakshmipati Tirtha, who was one of the great acharyas in the line of Madhvacharya, which is why Mahaprabhu accepted the Brahma Sampradaya, coming from Madhvacharya. Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. It's another reason Mahaprabhu accepted that Sampradaya. Of course, Mahaprabhu took two things from each of the Sampradayas, but he accepted the Madhav Sampradaya, partly because of this. You understand? Then Nityananda Prabhu, having received that mantra from Lakshmipati Tirtha, began traveling on his own. Eventually he came and he met Madhavinda Puri. When he met Madhavinda Puri, he saw that this Madhavinda Puri was non-different from his guru, except that he had fully manifested all of the moods of the mantra he had received from his guru, which was Braj mantra, Krishna mantra. You understand? And in Madhavinda Puri, he saw all of those moods. So actually he accepted Madhavinda Puri as his Shiksha Guru. Some think he was initiated by Madhavinda Puri, but actually it's directly mentioned he took, as I quoted the verse, his mantras from Lakshmipati Tirtha, but his fullness came in the Shiksha with Madhavinda Puri Pad, right? In the Leela, because he's Nityananda. Understand? He was so much in love. In fact, when Madhavinda Puri and Nityananda embraced, it was like when Mahaprabhu and Nityananda embraced. They both fainted. All the disciples of Madhavinda Puri were looking on with wonder. Who is this person? That immediately upon being embraced by Madhavinda Puri, he manifests such high quality of praying. Understand? Afterwards, Nityananda would go to Sri Navadvip Dham. There he would go to the house eventually of Nandanacharya. When he arrived in the house of Nandanacharya, immediately Mahaprabhu knew that Sri Nityananda Ram had come. Why? Because Nityananda and Mahaprabhu are not two different people. You understand? They're one person in two bodies. In fact, one person, like he told in the story of this Madhav Misra Pujari. Madhav Misra Pujari had the mood that I have affection and adar, means regard for Mahaprabhu. But Nityananda is so weird. I'm not Nityananda, Minikaitan Ramdas, glorifying him. He said, not only Nityananda, but all his followers also so weird. They don't act according to any kind of proper etiquette or anything else. He's going around clubbing people with the flute, smacking people, jumping on shoulders. Understand? But Madhav Misra, though he had some adar from Mahaprabhu, like the three sons of Advaita Acharya. Three sons of Advaita Acharya, Gopal and two others, they fully followed the line of Mahaprabhu. But three sons deviated. Why? Because they could not also understand. When Mahaprabhu came, after Advaita Acharya was preaching Mayavad philosophy, and Mahaprabhu was beating him, they could not understand the prem inherent in that Leela. So they thought, my father's high class of person, why Mahaprabhu is beating him? So therefore, they lost connection with the line of Mahaprabhu. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he described they are asara, means useless. Three sons followed the line, three sons deviated. In the same way, Madhav Misra, he couldn't understand that Nityananda and Mahaprabhu in one body. Another, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it's mentioned, there was one Brahmin also. He had great affection for Mahaprabhu. But he saw that Nityananda Prabhu, so many different things he was doing because he's avadut. Avadut means he has no relationship to the material energy. He's always fully absorbed in his inner mood. Sometimes he'll come to Bahiradasa, means external consciousness, but mostly he's fully absorbed. But he couldn't understand. And then Mahaprabhu told famous verse devotees, no, he told, listen, even if you see Nityananda go to a liquor store accompanied by prostitutes, you should understand that I myself am enjoying in the body of Nityananda Prabhu. Don't try to fake that in our own days. So if you see me at the liquor store, call Guru Dev, call to people, say, yeah, I saw Mukunda, it's not good. You understand? But in Nityananda Ram, he's avadut. So Mahaprabhu told, don't think like this. We're two persons in one body. You understand? So in this way, when Nandanacharya's house was there, Mahaprabhu was knowing that Nityananda came, and he told all the devotees, go. One Mahapurushas come to Navadvip. So all the devotees, they went out and they began looking here, looking there, looking here, there. Nobody could find. So everybody was wondering, Mahaprabhu, we've seen so many people we've not seen. Because if you say it's Mahapurush, it must be somebody that would be so obvious, but we didn't see like that. So Mahaprabhu told, follow me. And Mahaprabhu did a beeline to Ishodhyan and to the house of Nandanacharya. And when he came in, Nityananda saw Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu saw Nityananda. Immediately they entered into their antradasha together, and to everyone else's vision they fainted. You understand? Then they would come back to consciousness and embrace each other. And when they would embrace each other again, they would faint. You understand? Then they would awaken again and they would begin to talk. And as they began talking, faint again. You understand?
Who would be there watching that?
All devotees were there.
All?
So many high class of devotees were there at that time. So this is a special thing. It is called Sandarshan, Sanjalpa, and Samsparsha. In Ujjali Mani, it explains that when the Lord meets, like especially it's related to gopis, but here, seeing Nityananda Prabhu and seeing the manifestation of Prem. Prem is the manifestation of Radhika. Don't confuse this. Don't make an opposite out of it that Radhika was present in Nityananda or something. I'm telling only that Prem was present in Nityananda to such a high degree, like in Madhavinda Puri and Nityananda Prabhu. that when he saw Nityananda Prabhu, the overwhelming nature of that praying made him to faint. When he awakened, Sanjalpa, and they began to talk, and their words, when imbued with that praying, it caused fainting. And again, when they embraced each other, some sparsha, and they touched bodies, then again, the ecstasy caused him to faint. You understand? So Sandarshan seeing, Sanjalpa speaking, some sparsha, touching, all because of the high class of prema in Mahaprabhu and in Nityananda Prabhu, it caused murchit, fainting. You understand? From that day on, Nityananda Prabhu stayed with Mahaprabhu there in Navadvip Dham, and then also later on in Jagannath Puri. But also he sent Nityananda especially to Bengal to preach. So I already told that the first persons that he approached in Bengal, and this is before Mahaprabhu, I believe, goes to Puri, I can't remember now. But he tells to go and preach, and they go to preach to Jagai and Madai. Nityananda Prabhu, when he approaches, at that time, they chase him away first. And then they go back, and then Haridas Thakur is telling, oh, I don't know why this Avadut, of all the people to preach to, he goes to these two. And he's telling to Mahaprabhu, our lives are in danger. We were this, we were that. So then the next day, Nityananda Prabhu goes back and does the same thing. But one question is there. Why did Nityananda Prabhu, who's all powerful, why did he take Haridas Thakur to go with him? He is Nam Nishtarup. Haridas Thakur is the very personification of Nishta and Harinam. So he knew by the power and the influence of Haridas Thakur, if they take up the name, and what does Guru give? What is the first thing Guru gives when he accepts a disciple? Nam. So by the influence of Nam Nishtarup Haridas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu's Akhanda Guru Tattva was giving mercy to all the most fallen by giving them the name. And who better to be the emblem of the name than Nam Nishtarup Haridas Thakur? But the name is so many teachings here. The name has fear to come to that person who has no guru. Other than that, any person could chant Hare Krishna, they will get Sukriti. But will the full efficacy of Nam manifest if you don't have guru? If you don't receive the name from guru? So this is also the teaching inherent why Haridas Thakur was with Nityananda when he went to preach. And he went to the most fallen. To the point where Madai picked up an earthen pot and threw it, and he struck Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu shed blood. This was the personification of the proof of the Mahakarun Shakti in Nityananda Prabhu. You understand? He shed blood to deliver the jivas. You understand? He's Bhagavan himself, but he shed blood to deliver the jivas. This is the extreme mercy that's present in Nityananda Tattva. This is the mood that should be inherent in the heart of anyone who takes the ideal of serving Parampara by giving Harinam and Diksha. If you're not willing to shed blood, which means to give your life, you should not take any disciples. Disciples are not like property. They're not like accumulations. They're not institutional facility. You understand? So I get so many people, I got so many bodies, I can get so much service done. If you don't have love in your heart, if you don't have so much love and affection and mercy, you should never do this thing. You understand? Because each person whose heart that you accumulate, that you bring to the lotus feet of Guru Parampara, Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna, you have to have equal apurvatarati, means unprecedented love for that person. You understand? That person means just like a small baby. A small baby passes water, stool, so many different things. Still, your love and affection grows more. I have not done, I think, one diaper in my entire life. But I'm speaking on behalf of all mothers of the world, right? So much love and affection becomes there. So same way, the position of giving Harinam and giving Diksha is filled with love and affection. And the person has no Guru Abhiman. Because it's described by Nityananda Akhanda Guru Tattva, Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Rai, Abhiman Sunya Nittai Nagare Bidai. What is the meaning of Abhiman Sunya?
It doesn't have
Devoid of false
conception, self-conception.
Yes. No self-conception except I am the servant of Mahaprabhu. You understand? This is his Abhiman. And because of that, there's no possibility for crowd. Crowd arises due to false egoism. You understand? So it means Akhanda Guru Tattva cannot have any false egoism or any identification of Guru Abhiman. But you have to have some Abhiman. What is the Abhiman that the Guru has?
I'm a servant of my guru.
Not only that, because everybody should be the servant of their Guru, but you only have the,
Chaitanya Das, Muni Chaitanya Das.
Yes, that I am the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but even more. If you've not had some glimpse, something of the fact that I am the Palya Dasi of Radhika, I'm the sucker of Krishna, then you should not do that service. You understand? Because that conception that becomes present in your heart is what keeps Guru Abhiman away. You understand? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's singing. Ami Sishya Tava Takiya Savara Guru Abhimana Tyaji. May Guru Abhiman go very far away from me. Why? Because he's thinking, oh, Kamala Manjari Nam. I'm Kamala Manjari. And the taste in being Kamala Manjari has nothing to do with I am a guru. You understand? This is very serious things. Because unless that's there, Guru Abhiman will be there. You'll see disciples as property. You cannot have true love and affection. You understand? I cannot compare what I feel about my van to what I feel about my wife. You understand? There's a difference between property management and love and affection for someone. You understand? So unless you have some idea who you are, therefore, by default, being a guru will be an upadi among your many upadis. Because I was John Doe, I joined the Hare Krishna movement. 6 months later, I became Janadas. 6 months later after that, they gave me a thread. I became a Brahmin named Janadas. Then later on, I was the head Pujari. Then I was the temple commander. Then the temple president. Then I got elected to the C's, right? The GBC. Then after that, they made me guru. So now my final upadi in my graduate studies of upadism is I become guru. You understand? But I don't really know who I am yet, just like the disciples I'll take may not also know who they are. So that is the meaning of Guru Apiyavaliptasya Karyam Agyana Gyanata. If you don't know who you are, how you'll take other people to tell them who they are?
Exactly.
You understand? You understand? Now, Guru could be at different levels. Because you also mentioned Sastrikti Sunipanya, Dridashara Yandra, Uttamari Karise Tariya Samsa. If that person has that Sambandha Gyan, we say Sambandha Gyan, and they're Sastravid, and they have Sastra Yukti, they know how to apply Sastra. Not only logic, Yukti means logic, but also means application. And their Dridashara Yandra, their faith now has become fixed because of that. Uttamari Karise Tariya Samsa, they're Uttamarika in the eligibility of sadhana and can help others cross over samsara. Understand? This is minimal level. And then obviously if that person is Sadhan Siddha or they're one Nitya Siddha who's descended to this world, Uttam Bhagavat, then this is optimal. You understand? So point being here, that all of these things are present in Sri Nityananda Tattva. So when they met in the house of Nandanacharya, then they both were so much love. After that, Mahaprabhu sent him for preaching, but throughout the whole Nityananda Leela, then he is so absorbed, he's always acting as an avadut. There's so many pastimes that you can read in Nityananda Vilas, Chaitanya Bhagavat especially, and also, of course, in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The emphasis is Prabhuji mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita because it was gathered from all of the Kadachas. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat, there is more of the Vilas of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, the teachings that were in those Kadachas means the notebooks or diaries of Swarup Damodar, Marai Gupta and others. Then under the association of Raghunath Das Goswami at Radha Kund, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami compiled all of the Siddhanta of Mahaprabhu that was in the Kadachas, and that became Chaitanya Charitamrita. Understand? Jai Shri Nityananda Rama ki Jai, Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Shri Gurudeva ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Rukmini Guru Varga ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Govinda Ju ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam, Jai Hari Bol. Any quick questions or anything before time?
Why is it that I might have missed it, but why didn't the
the devotees, there are so many pure devotees that were supposed to find Lord Nityananda, they couldn't find him. And so why was it that Lord Chaitanya had to show them where
Very good
he
question.
was?
Very good question. Because everything in the Leela is also upakyan, means a teaching. So, Brahmana Brahmati Kona Bhagwan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Poi, Bhakti Lata Bij. How do you meet Guru? By the mercy of
Vaishnava.
Guru Krishna Prasade Poi, Bhakti Lata Bij. You meet Guru by getting Krishna's mercy. To show that teaching, even high-class devotees, they could not find Nityananda till they got the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And therefore, you understand? So it's a teaching, because Mahaprabhu's Leela is also a Bhajan Siksha Leela. In fact, the whole Shishastakam was written Purva Ashta Shloke Kare Loka Shiksha Leela. It was originally written as a Bhajan Padati based around Harinam. Bhajan Padati means an instruction book. How to do Bhajan based around Harinam. But then, Ashta Shlokera Arta Apani Karila Ashwadan. Later on in the Gambhira, if you read the 19th chapter, going to the 20th chapter of Antilila, Mahaprabhu would now taste the meanings of what he himself wrote in the form of Radhika's mood when she was at Uddhav Kyari. So when you read Shastakam in the Antilila, it describes the various moods Mahaprabhu is going through as he's tasting his own verses. So that Shastakam is both for Sadhaka and for Siddha. They're two different meanings. I did a class some time before on two different meanings of Shastakam. You understand? One is applicable to doing sudden bhajan. One meaning is what Mahaprabhu was tasting, which you can find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anjalila chapter 20, what he was tasting, because Krishnadas Kaviraj is writing what moods he was tasting. After Mahaprabhu heard the sonnet from Advaita Acharya, which is in the 19th chapter of Anjalila, he tells him the marketplace is now closed because everything that you came to accomplish has been done. So there's no more need of rice in the marketplace. Means there's no more need necessarily for the Leela that you're performing now. When Mahaprabhu, he gets this message from Jagadananda Pandit, who had gone to Navadvip. And when he came back to Puri, he gives this message. Sarup Damodar has some idea of what is being said. Devotees ask Mahaprabhu what it means. Mahaprabhu says, oh, Advaita Acharya is very deep. But when the Purohit, when the priest calls to do the yagya, when you see a yagya done, you have to establish what's called a Shripad. So you take the copper pot, you make mango leaves, you take a coconut, you put the swastika on the coconut, you put all auspicious items inside the water of that thing, and you call for the deity to enter the coconut. Right? So you have a Shripad there. That's the deity itself. That's why you see them offer different articles of puja to the coconut, because now you've called the deity there. At the end of the yagya, you call for the deity by mantra to leave. You understand? So he was saying Advaita Acharya called for the deity to come. Now he also has the power to call for the deity to leave. You understand? I told on Advaita Saptami. You understand? So he was telling this is the message. So it means it was time for him to end his pastimes. But it meant to end his pastimes of traveling, preaching, so many things. And now he spent the next 12 years in the Gambhira, absorbed in the mood of Radhika at Uddhav Kyari. Why the mood of Radhika at Uddhav Kyari? Because that mood of separation is the entrance into the highest mood of Bhav. In Adirud Mahabhav, Rudabhav Akyo Yam, Sambhoga Vipralambika, Nirbhanda Paramavadi Isha, Nirbhanda Paramananda, Nirbharananda Purna Paramavadi Ishyate. He's saying here that the highest mood of association between Radha and Krishna is born from Vipralambika Pradurbhav. It's the highest kind of separation mood. The word Vipralambika or Vipralambika means that the suffix ka means it makes it happen. When separation reaches such a level that it makes Krishna's appearance come there, it is called Purna, complete, Paramavadi. It's worth becoming completely absorbed in because near Bharananda, there is no obstacle. When Krishna is personally present in Braj before the gopis, what obstacle is always present? The imminency that he will go. Either back to Nandagan, leaving the rasa stuff, whatever, that he will go. But when there's this mood, Vipralambika Pradurbhav, you take shelter of it because it says, Spurte, what is it? No. Dvi gune viharatati spurti anuragaje. the kind of sporties that come, even in the state of Anurag, right? They still have the mood that Krishna again may become separated, and then Dvigune Virharatati, the mood of separation becomes doubled. But he's saying here, don't worry about that. This is the complete form of association. So Mahaprabhu was experiencing that mood of Radhika in the Gambhira, in the association of Lalita and Vishaka in the form of Swarup Damodar and Roy Ramananda. He tasted his own Shishashtakam in that mood. He also tasted the poetry of Vidyapati, Chandidas, Jayadev Goswami, and writings of Ramananda Roy, like Jagannath Vallabhanatakam. So Paili, Nai, Rangana Bhela, Abadi, Adunana, Parhadi, Navala, Nagela, Naham Ramani, Nasaramana, Naham Ramani, Manu Baba, Dui Baru Baba, Peshali Jani. This is one poem from the writing of Ramananda Roy. He's saying there that from the first day that our eyes met, we fell in love. That love has grown, anudinam, day by day, avari badhala nagela, unlimitedly. We can't express how much that love has grown. But now you're going in separation. And before that he says, Naso Ramana, you're not the beloved, Naham Ramani. What is this called? Prem Vilas Vivart. Where I lose track, who's the lover, who's the beloved. Manobhav, Dui Manobhav, Peshali Jani. Therefore, love itself has taken over, and love is causing us to be together. Then he says later on, that same love has now caused us to be separated, and that love has become as a messenger. So Mahaprabhu was tasting all these things in the Gambhira in the last 12 years, before ending his Leela. Prem?
You mentioned the three deities, Pankapihari being one of them.
Vallabha? Sri Radha Vallabha?
Sri Vallabha. Who?
Radha Vallabha.
I thought you said Radha wasn't there.
She's not there. But Radhika is always there. I quoted the verse. Atmarama Sati Prokta. No, Atmaramas tu Radhika Tasha Ramana Eva so. Where is Radhika? If she's not manifest in her form, she's always in the heart of Krishna. That's why Radha Raman is called Radha Ramana. Radha's doing Ramana in the heart of that deity. So he's called Radha Raman. Banka Bihari also, who was found by Haridas Swami. And then Hit Hari Vamsa, who had the deity of Radha Vallabha, which is worshipped by the Hit Hari Vamsa Sampradaya. You see them, they wear like all yellow, and their tilak is somewhat different in Braj. Understand? There's some things that we don't align with Hit Hari Vamsa Sampradaya.
Sri Radhika's represented at Radha Vallabhji Mandir though with a crown.
With a crown.
Yeah.
And also at Radha Raman Temple.
Yeah.
You understand? So there's representation, but the Murti is not there. But it's considered that time, then Radhika is doing Ramana in the heart of Krishna. In the same way, in the appearance of Mahaprabhu, is Radhika present, both as Gadadhar Pandit, and her bhav and duty are present in Krishna as Mahaprabhu. Hitari Vamsa Sampradaya, one thing they say that he wrote Radharasa Sudhanidhi. That was revealed to him when he was like 6 years old or something like this, but we don't accept in our Sampradaya. We realize that Shri Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, who's Tonga Vijayasaki, is the writer of Radharasa Sudhanidhi. But in some ways they have the same kind of Madhuja Rasupasan, like very similar.
They don't follow Kasi.
They don't follow Ekadasi. Many traditional pariwars don't follow Ekadasi. They feel that Ekadasi is something that's imposed.
Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and he rejected him
Yeah.
because of that.
Hitari Vams, not Hitari Vams, not, but in the line, they say they're getting things from Gopal Bhatt Goswami. But there's question as to whether Hitari Vams actually took from Gopal Bhatt. That's another point of contention.
I lived in the Radha Vallabhji complex. And so Radha Vallabhji was my next door neighbor. And on Akadashi, they go across the Jamuna. I went with them one night. They go across the Jamuna to a place called Radharani. And in the mandap there, they do all-night kirtan.
Yeah. I saw the video
Yeah,
of that.
what they're eating, I don't know. They didn't eat during that night. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it's because in some of the pariwars, I don't know if it's there, but I think also there, but in many of the pariwars, they do not follow Ekadasi. They feel Ekadasi is something that's come in Vaidhi Bhakti and so forth and so on.
In Gaudiya Parival?
In some of the Gaudiya Parivals, they do
Oh,
not.
like which one? I never.
I don't know. Gurudev brought this point up that this is one of the things that some don't follow Ekadashi because they feel it's part of Vaidhi Bhakti, and that they're not in that space.
You're saying that,
I'll look that up.
you're saying that Srimati Radharani is in Krishna's heart and
Yes.
Krishna.
I'm not saying it's written.
Yeah.
Shri Radha Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Asman. The transformation that makes Mahaprabhu come is the transformation of the Ladini Vritti in the heart of Krishna. You
Is
understand?
that what he's
And-
actually made of?
What's that?
Like his body, Krishna himself, like his body is made of that?
No. Radha and Krishna are one tattva. Radha Krishna Chi Sada Eki Sarup. Radha and Krishna are one person. It's the Shakti.
The mic is not working.
Okay. He's Shakti and Shaktiman. It means it is the possessor of power or Shakti and the Shakti itself. So Radha and Krishna are not two different people. But Leela Rasha Ashwadite Dari Duri, they accept two forms to taste rasa through various leelas. They're not two different people. You understand? This is an important thing to understand. Now, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's mentioned there that Shri Radha Pranaya Ladini Shakti Ashmat. Ashmat means the cause of something. The cause of the transformation of Krishna to become Mahaprabhu is the vikar of the Ladini Vritti. It means the transformation of Ladini Shakti. Who is Ladini Shakti? We said earlier. Radhika herself. So Ek Atmanopri Bhuvi Bhuvadeha Bedam Gatal Tal. They're originally one Atma. Then it says Chaitanya Kyam. This Chaitanya, right? Chaitanya Kyam Prakritam has manifested Tat Aduna. Now, Chai Aikyam Aptam. By again. Chai Aikyam Aptam means again they've obtained oneness. What's the difference between Krishna when it's oneness of Radha and Krishna in one Swarup as opposed to the form of Mahaprabhu? What's the difference? So they were one. So they were one originally as Radha and Krishna. They're one Swarup. And now it says Chaitanyakyam Aptam. Taraduna Chayakyam Aptam. They have again obtained oneness. What's the difference between the oneness of being Krishna's Atmaramata with Radhika in his heart, one person, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What's the difference?
The mood, no,
The mood is the transformation of the Ladini Vritti, making the Vishaya of Prem taste the mood of the Ashraya.
yeah.
When Radhika is doing Ramana in the heart of Krishna's Atmaramata, it's just the nature of his satisfaction. You understand the difference? They're together as one person is Krishna, he's Atmaram. It means that Radhika is in his heart. Now they separate to taste Pararamata. It means to taste the sweetness of Ras between two people. The pinnacle of that tasting of Ras between the two people is they again become one person now, where they switch roles. You understand? Is everybody, it's true, it's cool or not? And when we say it again? Yeah. Radha and Krishna are one person, they're not two different people. I quoted the verse, Radha Krishna Jai Sada Eki Swarup. They're one person. They're Shakti and Shaktiman, when you speak philosophically. They eternally manifest two forms. Lila Rasa Aswadite Dare Duirup. Dare Duirup means they've taken two forms. For what purpose? To taste Rasa. How will they taste the Rasa? Through so many various Leelas. Right? This is how they taste the Rasa. Then it says in this verse that same Radha and Krishna, Chaitanyakyam, Prakritam, have manifested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How? Tad Aduna, now, meaning when this love has reached its pinnacle, now they've reached this pinnacle of love. Tad Aduna, Chai Aikyam Aptam. Again, they have become one. The difference is Krishna has experienced all kinds of rasa up to the point of Ras Lila. He's experienced those things from the perspective of I am Krishna experiencing the love of Radharani towards me. You understand? But he sees that Radharani's love is so exalted and so great, I would like to see what it's like to be her.
Right.
That requires an inversion of roles. So Chaityamaptam, When that love gets to that point, the Ladini Vritti makes it happen. Ladini Vritti means the power of the love itself makes it happen that he can now taste the mood of Radhika that manifests a form called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Can you say that, like, I know that Balaram also has his own gopis.
Oh yeah, so let me finish because that's a whole other subject.
Okay.
So you understand this point? So now the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is called the Bhakta Roop, is that satisfaction of Krishna's desire to be in the position of Radhika to taste what his sweetness is like. What is the beauty of his form? He doesn't know that. Who knows that? Of course, he looks in the mirror and says, I'm fine, you know. So that's one thing. But who knows, who tastes that fineness? Radhika. Oh, when I play my flute, Iti Venu Ravam Rajam, Sava Bhuta Manoharam, the whole world becomes enchanted. Who knows the sound of that flute best? Shrimati Radhika. You understand? The nature of my leelas. Who knows the sweetness of my leelas better than Radhika? No one. Of all my praying parikar, all my associates, who is the pinnacle of all those associates? Radhika. So he wants to taste what is that mood in Radhika. That's the cause, asmat, of the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's different from the ontological position of just being Atmaram by having Radhika in your heart. It's now that Radhika has manifested her bhav in the Vishaya Jatiya. So now that person who's normally the object of the love has the experience of tasting what it's like to love himself. Now Krishna is so greedy that he's not satisfied just to be absorbed in the mood of Radhika, what the love is like, but he wants to witness it. So he chooses a Leela, which is the pinnacle of all Leelas, which is bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan from Dwarka. That Leela is called Rathayatra. Krishna now can see himself tasting the mood of Radhika as Jagannath is looking at Mahaprabhu. You understand this? So now he gets to see himself tasting that mood as Jagannath. So now the form of Jagannath's ecstasy is not like when it was when they heard the Harikatha in the apartment of Rohini. Now he's witnessing himself tasting the mood of Radhika. The chamatkar of that experience, the astonishment of that experience causes Jagannath to be astounded. You understand? Okay, any last question? Because I think it's almost time for Abhishek. And I also have to go. Huh? RT. Is the RT first? Yeah. Prabhuji, you're asking about Baladev? Baladev's Rasyatra has so many elements in it, so it'd be difficult to go through all here. But basically, when Baladev went back to Vrindavan, he went back for a number of reasons. One is to satisfy those gopis who were too young to take place in Ras Leela at the time of Krishna's Ras Leela. Secondly, there were gopis who were attracted to Baladev. Thirdly, he would be able to manifest Krishna Swarup because Baladev Tattva can manifest Krishna Swarup. He's the revelatory power. Remember we said that. He's the person who reveals Krishna. So he could reveal, because what is Krishna's body made of? Sandhini Shakti. Who's the predominating deity of Sandhini Shakti? So he manifested Krishna for 2 months to Krishna's own gopis during his Ras Yatra.
Yeah.
This secret is told by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. You understand?
But they're not different, so he could do that.
Yes. But not their dancing with Baladev. He's manifesting Krishna Swarup to them.
But he couldn't satisfy Lalita, Vishaka, and Radharani completely. That's like controversial too. How he satisfied all these
Other gopis.
Rajvasis also, but not some. And that
But here the mystery is that the Swarup manifested by Baladev Tattva also carried a ingredient of temporality, because there was awareness that Baladev had come to Braj, but that he would go back to Dwarka. This is the secret of that thing. Whereas Radhika, in her separation, I quoted the verse, Nir Barananda Purana Paramavadi Ishate. The absorption at that time, when Krishna is gone, there's no idea he'll go. Because in the prakoshta of her Vipralambika Pradurbhav, there's no sensibility that, oh, Krishna is going to leave. That's why Gurudev told, Krishna even made the plan. If being in this Vrindavan won't give us higher association as me not being here. You understand? That's why Gurudev told us Katha. Because in the absence of Krishna, in Adi Rudma above, their absorption in that kind of separation makes Krishna appearance there unimpeded by the idea he may leave. And this is what Mahaprabhu tasted in the Gambhir. All right, my Dhanava Pranam, Jai Shri Nityananda Ram Ki Jai, Shri Nitya Chayodasi Mahamotsav Ki Jai.